Have you ever heard of the labyrinth on the island of Crete? A maze so complex, so bewildering, that once you were inside, escape was thought to be impossible. It was a prison designed by a genius, the master craftsman Daedalus. But in a cruel twist of fate, Daedalus himself, along with his young son Icarus, became its captives, imprisoned by the vengeful King Minos. Day after day, they walked the endless, twisting corridors. The walls a constant reminder of their hopeless situation. The sky above was their only glimpse of freedom, a vast, blue expanse that seemed to mock their confinement. For Daedalus, a man who could build wonders, being trapped was the ultimate torture. But his greatest concern was for his son, Icarus, whose youthful spirit was being crushed by the stone prison. Despair was not an option. Daedalus knew he had to use his greatest gift, his mind, to engineer a way out. Staring at the birds soaring freely overhead, an audacious idea began to form in Daedalus' mind. If they couldn't escape by land or sea, they would take to the air. He was a master inventor. After all, he began to gather every feather he could find. Dropped by the gulls and pigeons that nested in the high walls of the labyrinth, he collected them, meticulously, sorting them by size small, medium, and large. Then, using linen thread, he began to stitch them together, arranging them in overlapping rows, mimicking the natural structure of a bird's wing. To hold the delicate creation together, he used beeswax, carefully molding it to secure the base of each feather. Slowly, painstakingly, the magnificent pairs of wings took shape under his skilled hands. They were a marvel of ingenuity, a testament to a father's desperate love and a genius's refusal to surrender. The moment came to test his creation. Daedalus strapped on the larger pair of wings, flapped them tentatively, and felt an incredible sensation. He lifted off the ground, hovering in the air. He had done it. He had conquered gravity. Turning to Icarus, he carefully fitted the smaller wings onto his son's shoulders. His heart was a mix of pride and profound anxiety. He looked his son directly in the eye, his voice firm and serious. "Listen to me, Icarus," he said. "We must fly the middle path. Do not fly too low, for the sea spray will dampen the feathers and weigh you down. And Icarus, whatever you do not fly too high. The sun is a fiery god. Its heat will melt the wax, and your wings will fall apart. Stay close to me. Follow my lead, and we will be free." Icarus, his eyes wide with excitement and wonder, nodded eagerly, hardly able to contain his joy at the prospect of flight. With a running start, they leaped from the walls of the labyrinth and into the open sky. It was breathtaking. The wind rushed past them, the world shrinking below. They flew over the turquoise Aegean Sea, past islands dotted with green. For the first time in his life, Icarus felt truly free. The sensation was intoxicating, more powerful than any warning. He felt like a god soaring among the clouds. He looked up at the brilliant, golden sun, and his father's words faded into a distant echo. What harm could there be in getting a little closer and feeling its warmth, in touching the heavens? Forgetting everything, driven by the pure ecstasy of flight, Icarus began to climb higher and higher, leaving his father's desperate cries far behind. He soared towards the sun, a tiny figure against the infinite blue. And then, it happened. The sun's intense heat began to soften the wax. First one feather, then another, drifted away. The structure of his wings began to fail. Panic replaced his joy. He flapped his arms frantically, but it was useless. The wings were disintegrating, the feathers scattering in the wind like tragic snowflakes. He was no longer flying, he was falling. He plummeted from the sky, a streak of youthful folly, his screams lost in the vastness of the air. He crashed into the sea below, the waves closing over him in an instant. Daedalus watched in pure horror, his heart shattering. He circled the area, calling his son's name over and over, his voice raw with grief. But the only reply was the silent, indifferent sea. Eventually, he landed on a nearby island. His own magnificent flight now a bitter curse. He had given his son the gift of flight, and it had led to his death. Heartbroken, Daedalus named that island Icaria in memory of his lost boy. And the stretch of sea where Icarus fell is known to this day as the Icarian Sea, a timeless monument to a father's sorrow and a son who dared to fly too close to the sun. Thanks for watching.